Okay, YouTubers, this is a very important video. It's probably the most important video that I'm ever going to make in my life um, for this moment. If you guys don't know, I'm going to let you know. It's not being covered, and it might be covered where she is, but it's not being covered globally. So Lester Holt's not on this, David Muir's not on this, and whoever the hell's at CBS, they're not on this. And it pisses me off that they're not. So what I'm going to talk about right now is Emily Pike, a young Native American girl who was dismembered. 14 years old. From the update that I got on my TikTok FYP thingy, they have 3 suspects. So I made some videos on TikTok, and I keep my word. Y'all might not like that about me, but I do keep my word. So on TikTok, I told them today that I would be drawing this picture. All right. So this here, I will read it to you. By the way, on TikTok, I did misspell "for" and had the word "fox" because I have a niece named Fox. She's like 7, I think. Anyway, justice for Emily. I got a little feather there. My pikes are I'm sorry, Emily. I'm still mad about this shit. I'm gonna be mad about this for a long time. I got 3 arrows facing down as my explanation point. I have the Thunderbird here so that it will guard her and guide her into the afterlife. The Thunderbird is a spirit of vengeance. I probably shouldn't be telling y'all this just in case pretendians are following me here. Um, I have missing and murdered indigenous people right there and right there. Her name, rest in power, young warrior girl, because she was only 14. No more stolen sisters. Over here, I have no more stolen siblings. She was taken from this world, and she needs real justice. Enough said. That's there. So the picture of her on the internet is her surrounded by clouds, and to say her name, Emily Pike. It is not completely finished, but it's as best I can do for now. I'll probably have to go back in and darken it. I can probably pencil it in, but in case you guys aren't aware, my hand shakes rapidly, both of them, so I can't paint anymore. So if you're ever wondering why I stopped painting pictures and shit, now you know. All right, and no, I'm not gonna talk to the doctors about that shit, especially with Trump trying to take medical shit away from veterans, and I only get disability, so I can't afford to go to the hospital over some shit that doesn't really bother me. I have restless leg syndrome too, and I had this hip replacement, and it didn't improve the restless leg syndrome. I do have issues sleeping, but I'm okay. So, getting that out of the way, and I will be going back to making martial art films and videos as soon as the weather breaks. Also, I'm editing my very first movie, um, Fallen Dragons, downtown. I gotta pay for that too. God damn it. Anyway, that'll be probably paid for next week. Um, so here again, you know, with the justice, I once again use a Thunderbird. I just use a different picture. Explanation point, I use arrows. I use arrows for the L's here. I use hearts on the eyes. Because she's 14, man. And I do believe, maybe I'm wrong, but most 14-year-old girls are always thinking about hearts and love and shit. So everywhere there's an I in her name, there's a heart. If you don't know about her story, you need to know her story. So her name is Emily Pike. Please Google her. Please check her out. And there's gonna be some bad things about her being in a group home. So that part might be a little bit true, but they didn't even look for her. They didn't even know she was missing until they found her dismembered body. Try to keep that in mind when you go into things about her being in a group home and shit. So God rest her soul, and keep her family and her in your prayers. I would say keep her in your thoughts, but you guys probably ain't even gonna remember this video. But you know, she was 14. 14. I currently do have at least one 14-year-old niece. All right, so y'all might want to take that into consideration. That you might have a 14-year-old niece who may have some issues and may have to go in a group home to stay away from somebody in the family or somebody in the neighborhood that was bothering this young lady, and we don't know all the details. We don't know what her hopes and her dreams were. And I'm not a full-blooded Native American, but I am going to speak on this because I am part Native American. And this is very important because missing and murdered Indigenous women is a very important thing. It evolved to missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, and then it evolved again after the death of Frank Young, who was a 5-year-old. It went from missing and murdered Indigenous women to missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and boys, and then it went to missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, boys, and two-spirits. Two-spirits are people who are in the alphabet community in the Native realm. So initially, I'm one of the first people that started calling it MMIP because that covers everything. It covers boys, girls, men, women, children. It covers everything except maybe the res dogs, but it covers everything else because the people, the first people on this great land. She's special, and her life was taken before she could even begin. So make sure you look out for your nieces and your nephews, especially when they're adolescents and when they become teenagers. They are susceptible to more nefarious shit, and especially if they're females. That being said, keep her in your prayers. My name is Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Come Forever #2. Be seeing you. Well, I would if I could close out the video.